Welcome to War Thunder with Subdued. How y'all doing tonight? Well, we're on the dev server and we're looking at the Charles F. Adams. The Charles F. Adams was the lead ship of the class, and it was a follow-on from the Forrester Sherman class. Now, Forrester Shermans were DDs, destroyers. The Charles F. Adams were DDGs, destroyer guided missiles. And you can see that in this ship, even though the ASRock launcher was retrofitted to the Forrester Shermans. But you've got the twin-armed Terrier launcher, otherwise known as the two-armed Bandit. And you've got 21 missiles to go in it. We're getting the RIM 24As, but later in life they got upgraded to the RIM 66. Maybe that will be an upgrade later on, or they'll give us a further down the road Charles F. Adams ship and give us the RIM 66s. God only knows. Um, but it's a lovely ship. It's got 3 torpedo tubes on each side. They fire the Mark 44 torpedo. Now, I don't know if they're going to have the torpedo be a smart torpedo or if it's just going to be yeah, it's a Mark 44, but it's only going to shoot in a straight line. I'm not that good with this stuff. I don't play naval very often, but it would be nice if they would give us the smart weapons. Um, and also later in life, the Mark 44s were replaced with Mark 46s, which were advanced lightweight torpedoes and very good. Matter of fact, when I say lightweight, 2 people could pick one up and carry it. So, the nice thing about the Charles F. Adams is going to be the RIM 24A launcher. It's got 2 missiles on it. It's got supposed to have a relatively quick reload, but right now it doesn't work in test drive. I haven't taken it into battle, so I don't know whether it'll even work there. But it doesn't work in test drive. Now let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the B-66. Gaijin has once again done a magnificent job on their model. This aircraft is basically a hangar queen. In ground forces, it might get some use, but in air realistic, this thing is dead on arrival. And the reason it's dead on arrival is because it's getting a runway start. Now, if it got an aviation start, a bomber start, it would be all right. Because it's not fast. You're probably going to get it up to 400, maybe 500 miles an hour ballpark. If you're a metric person, you do the conversion. But it's not fast. And it's not maneuverable. So somebody gets behind you and they've got a heat seeker like let's say the same type of heat seeker on the F4D, you're done. You just ain't stopped flying yet. Um, Two radars, one in the nose, which doesn't do anything at the moment. I think it's supposed to be ground mapping radar, which would be good for picking up targets at night. And the radar in the back, it is a gun laying radar. Now what happens is it scans in back and gives the gunner targets. The gunner selects a target. The gun lays on the target. Now there was an automatic mode. This plane is no longer in service. That automatic mode would, after the targets are selected, at a certain range, the gun lays on target. At another range, it opens fire. They don't like the automatic because it might be a friendly closing up behind. And they weren't that good with IFF. So, basically, the automatic mode was off the table most of the time. But, as far as gun laying goes, that part was done. And it was just a manual override by the gunner to shoot the gun. Are we going to get the automatics? Why not? It was there, it was available, and from what I understand, it was pretty darn accurate. Now, let's look at the only other plane I'm interested in. BF 109 T2. Basically, what you've got is an E model BF 109 with a reinforced fuselage and lengthened wings. I believe the engine is the same power. Aviation. Let's see, where are you? BF 109E. Let's go with the E3. And we'll go to the X-ray, and we've got the Daimler-Benz DB601A, 12-cylinder with 993 horsepower. Takeoff power of 1,066. The T2 DB601N with 1131 horsepower and 1246 takeoff power, or WEP, War Emergency Power, if you will. The increase in power is to make up for the reinforced fuselage, lengthened wings, and arrestor gear. Well, it no longer has the arrestor gear. So it got lightened up a little bit, and it's a little bit faster, 375 miles an hour. E3 is 368 miles an hour. Now let's take a look. E4. Come on. There we go. E4, which is a bit newer. Again, the DB601N, same power and the same speed. So you're not really getting anything better than the BF-109 E4. Matter of fact, you're getting pretty much the exact same aircraft. You've got the MG-17s and the MGFF/M. And you have the MGFF/M and the MG-17. The only thing you really do get with this plane is a lower landing speed and a lower speed where you're able to maintain control. It'll have better handling at low speed. Now, is that going to translate into better turn fighting? I don't know. You have to take it up and find out. But those are the only planes and ships that I'm interested in. Well, the Japanese, where are you? Blue Water Fleet, the Hiei. Preview that. The Hiei is basically one of the original Congos. Kongo, Haruna, Kirishima, and Hiei, the four sisters. This one is the battle cruiser. It's not a bad ship, but it's a battle cruiser. It's got lighter armor. It does not have the pagoda bridge, and it's not going to have as good a fire control as the later war refit Congos. But other than that, it's a good looking ship. 27 miles an hour, probably about 20, 21, 22 knots. The reason I'm saying knots is because that's what ships sail at, not kilometers an hour. And you've got Kirishima, which I have, and Haruna, which is 1922. So that's first refit. No. 1945, excuse me. 1945, 1942. The Kongo is 1944. And the Hiei is 1926. So she's still a battle cruiser. Whereas Haruna is a battleship, Kirishima is a battleship, and Kongo is a battleship. Your basic difference is the amount of armor. And survivability. Not that Kirishima survived against the Washington. Washington basically made a mess of her in Zip Point Nada. Alright, that's it. Subdued, signing out. Y'all have a pleasant today, a better tomorrow. Hope the dev server suits you and have fun. Subdued. Out!